Turn up.
Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business, man.
Wait, sorry. I moved.
Hey, RVA, visit the town. You know another guy named Mike? Make sure you check out my main man, Mike King Biz. Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Sports 106.1. Mike, with Mike, is the champion of business talk radio. You're starting to irritate me.
On the mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. We are the best because we get the rights. Kim Wells Ely is here rocking with me from KW Publishing. Welcome back. So we've had this conversation. This is the part of the show where we highlight the Richmond Regional Tourism. And we have, to be clear, we have JC with us. And a minute ago, Kim said, Jay-Z?
That's what I was walking into.
Yes, she was Jay-Z. Yes. And we're not talking like a random Jackie Zimmerman either, or somebody with a name like that. No. JC, welcome to the program, sir.
Thanks for having me on, everyone.
Okay, so I came in 2014. I've been hearing your name with sports related stuff since then. Let people know who you are, what you do, and the passion, because a lot of great things happening in the world with Richmond Regional Tourism.
I'm JC Poma, Director of Sports Relations for Richmond Region Tourism. And I'll tell you what, I'm here because we have a passionate sports town, and it is growing day by day, week by week, year over year, even coming out of this pandemic we've been in for the last 18 months. Sports has been what's kept our hotels filled, some of our restaurants, even filled when restaurants were at 25% capacity. You'd see teams in there on the weekends. And so it's just been great to have sports here in our community, and it's great to be here and talking sports, even with this hokey thing right behind me.
I was going to bring that up. Yes, and clearly you have an aversion to hokey type things.
It's not an aversion. Just for all my Cavalier fans out there, we had to sneak that in, right? Go Hoos.
So, and you had a conversation with Mitchell.
Yes, Mitchell's awesome. But Mitchell could have taken this down before I walked in, right?
And you wanted your picture taken, and Kim Ely was obliging you, and you thought you were out of eye shot.
I thought it was in neutral territory.
And then it's like, sir, that is a photo bomb if we ever saw one.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's not there in the photo.
It's
so
I blocked it.
We blocked it right there.
The Hokies are good people.
Yes. Well, as they say, you guys say down south, bless their heart. I'm from up north. People from up north think that that's really something nice.
No,
it's not. No. Bless their heart is not. Okay, JC. People don't realize this whole travel, sports, tourism thing. That back in the day, our parents took me to a sporting event here, there, but there ain't nothing like this right here. And that generates tons of money for the industry and the region. Let's talk about that.
Big time money for our businesses. You kind of alluded to it just there, Mike. I grew up in Richmond, played sports here in Richmond, and before I went to the University of Virginia, my parents traveled me all over the country to play in baseball tournaments, football combines. They spent so much money sending me to those places.
Yes.
Whereas now we're putting an emphasis on having those very tournaments right here in the Richmond region. Awesome. So for our constituents, it's getting to get viewed by college coaches right in their backyard. And that's not even the economic factor of what this does for the region. It's that our constituents get to have these tournaments in front of college coaches. Even think about our youth sports organizations. They're able to, get off the ground knowing that their national competitions that drive business to their businesses are right here in the region. And so it's a huge competitive advantage, but more importantly, it brings millions upon millions of dollars to the region. Just in 2019, 2020, sports events were still here, but we're kind of looking back to 2019. Richmond Region Tourism recruited right around 80 sports events to the region. And those 80 sports events brought in almost $70 million in direct economic spending. And now coming into 2020, we just this year alone will have over 120 here, approaching 80 to 90 million dollars in direct impact to our businesses. That's what sports does, and that's why it's big business.
And so what's the process of luring sporting events, things here? Like, what's that process like?
Oh, it's very competitive. You go out, and 10 years ago, the Richmond region didn't have a venue like River City Sportsplex that allowed us to bring these tournaments here. But now you look all up and down the East Coast, and there's competitive venues just like River City popping up all over the East Coast. In our kind of industry magazines, you look, and I swear there's an announcement every day for something new. So the process is taking one of these events, or these rights holders, as we call them, whether it's a national governing body like U.S. Youth Soccer, which is, the top tier for, our women's national team, our men's national team, and telling them, we want your youth tournament that's going to bring 200 teams to the region for 4 days, which is probably $3 million in economic impact. We want you to choose Richmond over those 20 venues in other destinations. So it comes down to how much our community supports them. That's why we do this well. It's, everyone has 12 soccer fields, but when you have a partnership with the great folks at Kings Dominion up 95 that allow all of those athletes to come in to Kings Dominion, which then they're spending money there, buying food.
That's true.
We've got these great partners. We got the jurisdictions that go out and help us bid on these events. So it's a bid process, and it's a crazy world, but we have such a great hospitality community that allows us to do these things, allows us to go out and recruit these events, and partners with us to, if you go to playinrva.com, it's kind of a sports guide. You'll see all these restaurants that are giving discounts and experiences to the athletes when they come in. That's what attracts, Richmond over a destination like Panama City Beach. That's a beach town.
And you're beating a beach.
Wouldn't you want to go to a beach?
Seriously.
But they're choosing Richmond, and it's because of our hospitality community.
Phenomenal.
Wonder Mike with Mike, Kim Ely is rocking with me today. We got JC. This is the part of the program where we talk about and promote and explain everything that's going on with Richmond Regional Tourism. Tamara was here last week, and she
awesome,
talked to me about the ambassador program. So officially, folks, watch out streets. I am official.
Are you an ambassador now?
Yes, sir. So
Woohoo!
put some respect on that name.
All right.
I even got my certificate, and I should have worn it to help. I'm derelict in my duties.
Dang it.
Exactly. That's what we do. There's a ton of things going on. Shout out to that program. I think there may be like 60 people there. And
It's digital and in person now.
and it's
too.
great because we did take the tour with Bill Martin.
Valentine.
Like I said to you,
That's a knowledge bank up
that's
top
what
there,
I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah,
And he makes it entertaining too. I'm like, man, so he is a true treasure.
absolutely.
But the what's going on in Richmond Regional Tourism, like I said, it's not just Richmond, it's the surrounding areas, the other jurisdictions that make this a real win. When you go out there, who are the ones that you guys compete with? You kind of see that on a regular basis.
Oh man, everywhere. Kind of, yes, we're a national destination, but it still tends to kind of focus on the Mid-Atlantic East Coast corridor. So from Panama City Beach to Charlotte, North Carolina, to Raleigh, North Carolina, right up the road to a little town in Delaware has a sports complex.
Really?
Crazy, but they're smart. These tournaments bring people that stay in the hotels, eat in the restaurants, just their attraction. So when you have the right political leader that can go out and build these facilities, they're going to reap the benefits. And that's what we've done here, all of our jurisdictions. We're in Chesterfield right now. Go Chesterfield. River City Sportsplex is here, but you travel right up the road to Henrico County, into the city, Hanover County. They've all got these complexes. But when you go to have you been on vacation this summer?
I'm fixing to.
I know.
Okay, well, if you go out of town, you don't know whether you're in a certain
Right,
county.
like
or
if a
another.
person goes to
Absolutely.
Philly, they're going
That's
to
true.
Philly. They don't know they're
No.
going to Montgomery County, Chester County. They
Absolutely.
don't know
The
that.
visitor knows no boundaries.
They just know they're going to Richmond.
Right.
Exactly. And so we've got 7 great jurisdictions that have all committed. So when there's an event at River City, those folks are staying in Short Pump, going to Short Pump Town Center, eating in their restaurants. So it's this regional cooperation that allows us to do what we do. And that's singularly why we are so successful.
So we had so Kim and I, we were on the Tri-Cities Business Summit, and we had the mayor of Colonial Heights. He was singing the praises of the tourism
Yeah,
group.
Greg
And
Kutuba, great guy.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm glad you got the name right.
Yeah, he and I used to work together a
But you
million
couldn't
years
get
ago.
Jay-Z, right?
Exactly.
Well, I haven't worked with him.
It's like, no, that's like a friend of mine. He writes for a magazine, and I met his friend. I'm like, he goes, "Oh, I write for Oprah magazine." I'm like, "You write for Oprah magazine?" Because I'm like, he goes, "Because we want to interview." I'm like, "Sure, yes." He said, "No, not Oprah, Okra."
Oh,
Oh,
we're
sorry.
on ESPN right now.
Exactly.
That's right.
Okra. No, it's not exactly the same. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. But I thought you said Oprah.
Oh.
And I
Me
was,
too, when you said it.
I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, I'm gonna be in
whoa.
Oprah magazine? No, you're gonna be in Okra magazine. Not exactly the
Mike
same.
didn't pronounce that.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
No,
I
good
wanted,
to hear.
there's a little bit more street cred, goes out the window. We're talking about Okra. So that's what, so we have JC with this, Tim Ely, talking about, the great things going on in Richmond Regional Tourism. So JC, you guys had a big meeting. You guys were gonna kill it in 2020. Corona showed up, but you guys kept on rocking and rolling. And, we always saw about the fields outside, or like, that was a safety net that kept people coming here.
We had so much support throughout the Commonwealth.
Awesome.
Our governor allowed us to still host these outside. We did get to, I'll tell you this, it was about a year ago, 13 months ago, we went into phase 2. Everyone kind of remembers those phase 1. It
Yes.
feels like forever ago,
It
right?
does, right?
When we entered phase 2, we were allowed to start hosting sports events again. I think we went into phase 2 on like a Tuesday afternoon, you had a press conference. And by Friday, we had 2 tournaments here, softball
Nice.
tournament with 54 plus teams, and actually a pickleball tournament with 400 players here. We were the
Awesome.
first region in the state, in the Commonwealth, to host sports events coming out of going into phase 2. And so it just shows you behind the scenes what we were doing with our health and safety guidelines. We had those times where we were only allowed 25 people per field,
Wow.
but people were parents. They just wanted their kids in sports. And so that allowed us, everyone was so supportive of these guidelines. By the end of the summer into the fall, we were kind of back to what that quote unquote normal was. We reverted a little bit there in the winter, but even we still had an indoor volleyball tournament with a local group, Richmond Volleyball Club, at the convention center in January with over 200 teams,
Wow.
filling our hotels. We all remember how January was. That was
Yeah.
that was the worst of it. Ironically enough, I was sitting at home with COVID when that tournament was going
Oh my
on,
gosh.
but that tournament still had 200 teams staying in our hotels. That's what sports did for us in 2020.
When we talked to, Ravi Patel, a friend of the program from Scene Hospitality, I asked him, when did you see that it was coming back? He said about January. He said, we looked up and we're going, hey, we're doing pretty good. And we heard you guys talk about hotel rooms on the weekends here. It ain't happening. It's not happening.
Oh, wow.
We went through, and it was really around the holidays, Thanksgiving to the December holiday season, and it was slow a little bit. We still had some soccer tournaments. That was more than most people had, most destinations had. So it was vitally important, because we've all heard about the hospitality industry and the jobs that have been lost. I think
Yeah.
Virginia Business just had a stat this week, just over 23% of hospitality workers have left the industry, are not coming back. And so you had Tamara on the show. Tamara's leading some workforce development initiatives for us to educate people on how great this industry is, because a lot of people just don't know what that industry is, right? And you probably, coming from Happy Valley, knew what tourism was.
Oh, that's a place that's it. And when you're insulated like that, I would travel for AccuWeather, and we didn't know that the recession had hit in 2012, 11. We didn't know, because tourism was still coming.
Sports is, Jack Berry, our CEO, always says, sports is recession proof.
That's for sure.
And I have a 2-year-old, and you can only think when he's playing baseball, or hopefully baseball, football, lacrosse, whatever it is.
Be a left-handed pitcher. That's what the be. You know,
Okay.
you're still playing until
Mike,
you're
listen.
49 years old.
My son's name is Rhett Henry Poma.
Oh man, that's a baseball.
His
name.
initials are RHP,
Oh, well, he got to be right. Okay.
but he's an LHP. It's just killing me inside that I didn't name him with an L. But you don't know.
You don't know. But I tell you what, yeah, a left-handed pitcher.
But my point is, in 8 years, if we're sitting here and, hopefully something of recession doesn't happen, but you're not taking your kids out of sports.
Right,
It develops kids,
definitely.
the social interaction, the values that they learn through. That's why we do this. It is economic development. It is putting millions upon millions of dollars, but sports is a youth developmental tool. And that's what we love to see. Amateur sports are what we do really well around here. But I think Richmond's moving into a pretty cool place. We got a lot of projects on the horizon.
Yeah.
Look at the Atlantic 10 tournament. We're very lucky to be able to get that here from Brooklyn at the last second in
That's
March.
a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
We wish we could have had fans in the building, but we were on ESPN with these games, and it showed how supportive our communities. You look at all the leaders around here, from
Everybody's
Harney, Dennis Bickmeyer at the Raceway, to Steve, to Rob Ukrop at the Kickers. Steve was with Dominion Energy Charity Fund. They are all such a supportive sports community, and I'm sure we'll get into this. That's why we're starting this RVA Sports Awards.
Okay,
which is
let's
our
talk
local
about that.
version of
All right.
the ESPYs.
all right. Let's talk about that. That's good.
It's because of those folks I just named and their passion for Richmond, and we do what we do to bring people to our jurisdiction. Heads and beds. That's what we'll tell
That's
you our
what
mission is. But these folks want to make Richmond a great place to live, work, and play. And if you look all over the United States, these destinations, these towns are doing these sports awards. The Heisman Trophy is given out in New York City by essentially an athletic commission there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. And so we're going to give out local awards that highlight our best athletes, our best teams, our best moment, our best coach. But then we're also going to give out a national award in partnership with the Center for Sport Leadership at VCU. We're going to highlight really what sports is all about. And maybe it's Becky Hammond, who became the first female to be a head coach in an NBA game. We're calling it the Power of Sport Award.
Man.
And so we're calling this, it's the local ESPYs, February 5th, 2022. It's going to be great. We're working on a lot of cool behind this, but those people, Richmond is a great place to live, work, and play. And we're going to highlight what sports does for our community. When we get these venues, like maybe it's the new Green City Arena, I can promise you college basketball is going to be there. I can promise you we're going to host, big time sports events, big time concerts. We've got new facilities. Richmond's going to be a sports town, but amateur sports is what's allowing us to do that.
So I have a question. JC, what do you envision for the next 5 years for Richmond in sports?
Venues.
Awesome.
You look at what's going on the boulevard with VCU athletics, Richmond Flying Squirrels.
Yes.
New ballpark, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
You got the new potential arena going up in Green City. You've got a brand new indoor sports center going up right now at Virginia Center Commons.
I know.
We just announced the new pool at Nova at Regency Square Mall.
Nice.
I announced it. Henrico County has invested with Nova in a facility, a world-class swimming. We got these all over, in addition to what we already have. With these venues that are going up, now we're going into the big leagues now, right?
That's true. When people talk about Richmond, they're mentioned in all of whether it's travel, tourism, foodie towns, it's right there. And I tell people, that's why they're building these apartments there. They're not building on the chance that somebody may come. There's not a brain drain going in here with a lot of towns, college towns or towns where people are leaving. This is a destination place where people are coming to. One of my ESPN Richmond, where you find us, Kim Wells Ely, KWE Publishing is rocking with me. We got JC in a building. This is the Richmond Regional Tourism. I would like to thank and shout out to Jack Berry for believing in the program and working with me. I really appreciate it. We got to go away and pay some bills. I always say the microphone ain't free, plus my grandkids need stuff. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Tom Children.
What's the nonstop
Hi, well, you know who I am. Make sure you check out my man, Mike King Biz. His program, A on the mic with Mike RVA.
Only you have 2 minutes.
Radio program in RVA. Mike King Biz Radio can be heard on ESPN Richmond 106.1 and The Choice 105.3. Me and Mimi listen every day, and you should too.
On the mic with Mike, the best business radio program. We spare no expenses here. We have JC is with us. Kim Wells Ely is rocking with us today, co-hosting. We're doing pretty good, Kim. We, management or the censors have not come in and called us out.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Who
One more
knows?
snort.
Exactly. We don't know. This thing's doing time. If JC is here. All right. So JC, so the SP type event is going to be
February 2022.
that's going to be big.
Go to rvasportsawards.com. There's some information on there. Most importantly, open in September. Nominations will open for the best athlete, male, female, coach, team, moment, community champion award. It's all presented by
Okay.
Rosie's and Colonial Downs. It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Mike, we'll see you there.
You know what? I was going to pull my Conor McGregor and start talking my way up on this event. Hey, I really would like an invitation. I really like to be involved in something cool like that. Okay. Oh, JC, how can people find you out there?
RVAsportsawards.com. But most importantly, everyone out there, go to visitrichmondva.com. Take a look at all the great things that the Richmond region has to offer. We're sitting in, it's not too hot outside today, but
No, it's not.
maybe it's Riverside Outfitters going down the river.
Nice.
There's so much to do in Richmond. Go visit our website, visitrichmondva.com. See all the great things. Take your family out this weekend. Do something fun in the weather. We got stuff all year round. That's why it's a great place to live, work, and play, right?
One mic with Mike. I've been hearing the name JC since I got here tied to sports. Finally, it's an honor, sir. It is truly an
We
honor.
appreciate you.
All right, on the mic with Mike, I'm getting a wrap up. I'm getting the serious wrap up. We want to ESPN Richmond 106.1. Mike King, Kim Wells Ely, Jay-Z. No, not Jay-Z. JC.
JC.
We've had that conversation before. One of Mike, we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.